Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bashim Hawashai Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered among the heathen nations around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners, and to the Yakwaf that are listening and learning. To you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago. And this video is called War on Middle Class America by Mike Maloney. All right, once again, War on Middle Class America by Mike Maloney. And I'm going to start off with this scripture here. This is Job 15:6. And it reads, their own mouth condemneth thee, and not I. Yeah, thy own lips testify against thee. Okay, what he's going to talk about are the effects of the destruction of America. And you have to understand, probably about 90% of the middle class, maybe 85% of the middle class are Edomites like himself. All right, which the things that he's complaining about, Jacob has been a victim of all along. But as long as the system was benefiting people like himself, they had no complaints whatsoever.
The fraud and the greatest wealth transfer in human history not only continue, but they're accelerating. And for anybody blaming all of the ills of society on the free market, stick around to the end because I've got something for you. Getting right into it, the Fed expands municipal debt purchase plan to allow smaller counties and cities to participate. Now, this is a central bank that's going to create currency and purchase IOUs. The municipalities, it was cities with at least 2 million, counties with at least 2 million residents, and cities with at least 1 million. And they've lowered 1 million to 250,000 residents. So cities the size of 250,000 or greater. Counties here, the size of 500,000 instead of 2 million. So this incorporates, this package will include now a whole lot of counties and cities across the nation. But when they counterfeit brand new currency into existence and they give it to one group of people and not another group, the purchasing power, when you type a brand new digit and you credit somebody's account, because the currency is just digits these days, so they type digits and they give those digits to a certain group of people. Where do those digits get their purchasing power? They get it by stealing purchase. The second they're spent into circulation, they steal the purchasing power from all the other units of currency, the other digits in circulation. And so
now he's complaining about a system that has benefited him very well up until this point. But now all of a sudden that the lifestyle of the middle class in America, which is, like I said, predominantly Edomite, now they have an issue with it. This is Deuteronomy 30:7. And it reads, and Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies and them that hate thee, which persecute thee. And now their lifestyles are starting to change. All right. This is James 5:1. It says, now go to now ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon thee, because the rich are going to feel it next, shortly after them. All right, because this plan is going to fail, and the rich, a lot of the rich are going to feel this as well. All right, your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth eating. All right, are moth eaten. Your gold and your silver is cankered, and the rest of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were of fire. You have heaped up treasures together for the last days. All this storage of stuff, and all the bunkers and the underground bunkers, and they're running to Switzerland with their and because that's a neutral place, a nuclear neutral place, and buying their luxury bunkers in Switzerland and all these there in New Zealand is that's all that's going to fail, man. All right, let's jump down to verse 7. And it reads, Be patient, therefore, brethren, unto the coming of Yahweh. Behold, the husbandman waiteth for the precious fruit of the earth, and have long patience for it until he receive the early and latter rain. And see, that's why I told us be patient, brethren, meaning suffer. We're suffering patiently, waiting, man. And there's really nothing we can do about it except keep the faith. All right? Because why? Here's the reward. This is Revelation 13:10. He that leadeth into captivity, which is his people, the man on the screen, shall go into captivity. And that's both the middle class and the super rich. They're all going. All right? He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience. There's that word patience. To suffer. Long patience. To suffer patiently. All right? Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So the saints are patiently suffering, waiting to take into slavery those that put them into slavery. All right? You know, and then they go along screaming, I wasn't there and I didn't do it. And and now they're all upset and mad. But let me see if I could remember that scripture. I can't remember it. And it came to mind as I was watching another video where the brother was condemning an Edomite. But it's in Jeremiah. And now I can't remember where it is. But basically it talks about, the sin of the father being put into the bosom of his children. And, and to the third and fourth generation or something to that nature. Because there's nothing new under the sun. They are responsible for what their forefathers did because they are their forefathers, just as we are our forefathers. All right, when you go to Psalms, and then I'm going to let the video play again, the 94th chapter, and you read verse 20, it says, Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law? And and I did a video the other day on the Jim Crow laws. There's segregation de jure. All right. The Reconstruction military phase, and then which was right after slavery, from 1867 to 1877, which when the military pulled out of the South, they basically left Jake hanging, literally, because Jake started getting hung by the thousands after that by the angry Edomites in the South, who make up a mass majority of the same middle class that we're talking about in this video. When in the video started, he said the theft and the fraud is going. Well, you have theft and fraud in your system, man. The Jim Crow laws was a system of racial oppression. The Black Code started after that. You have vagrancy laws. The whole Jim Crow thing. All right. Verse 94, Psalms 95 and 20. I said 94. 95 and 21. They gather themselves together again against the soul of the righteous and condemn the innocent blood. But Yahweh is a defense. My power is the rock of my refuge. And he shall bring upon them their own iniquity and shall cut them off in their own wickedness. Yeah, Yahweh, our power shall cut them off. So now they're falling victim to their own people by the wicked people at the top. There was a scene in the movie, damn, what's the name of that damn movie we just watched? The Platform. And the guy, and that's a very dark movie. It's on Netflix. All right, it's a very dark movie. It's not easy to watch. But as a platform would pass downward with food on it, the people up top would piss, spit, walk over, and just mutilate the food after they got their fill, as the food would descend down to the people below them until there was no food left. All right? And the guy, made demands for the people below him, and then they listened because he threatened to piss and shit in their food as the food descended from his level down to theirs. And so they listened to him because he threatened them. And the lady said, now if we can just get the people up. And he said, the people up will never listen to me because I can't shit upward. So what's happening is that the elites have created this pyramid, this hill, and they sit at the top of the hill and they shit and piss and it runs downhill onto their own people first. And that's what he's experiencing here.
This is a wealth transfer going from the people that don't live in cities of at least 250,000 people and don't live in counties with at least 500,000 residents to people that do. And so this is a wealth transfer. It's fraud and it's theft.
And he's mad, but guess what? When you had the head of right, the Jim Crow laws, the head of right, which allowed money and land to Edomites who came over here that had servants and slaves and gave them so many acres of land per slave, per person in that household. Land grabs where they, then you had redlining, the whole FHA, which operated on the Edomites only, for the first 40 years of its conception, first 40 plus years, only Edomites were allowed to get home loans and business loans, the whole redlining, the allowing of the purchase of property and all these sorts of things. But now that the system is not working for them, now all of a sudden they have an issue. And knowing that, and then he's going to complain about the new currency, so gold and silver has always been current. They allowed them to take away the silver and gold, marker, and there wasn't any uprising. But now that the petrodollar is failing them, because hey, they have an issue. Because when you go back to Genesis, the 13th chapter, in the 2nd verse, it says, and Abraham was very rich in cattle, in silver, and in gold. Land, gold, and silver, cattle, things of that substance have always been true wealth, and they should have fought for it a long time ago. But they allowed they got the Fed municipal, the Fed is not even a part of your government, but yet you allow it to dictate policy in your country. You see, you Edomites were docile here in America and allow an organization that isn't even a part of the executive branches of government to dictate policy. You should have uprised a long time ago. But you're stupid because your lie IQs have failed you.
So moving on. On our main page here, this was the article that we just looked at. But more importantly, if you're concerned at all about what's going on in the economy and your personal wealth, and you might have the remotest interest in precious metals or protecting yourself, I strongly recommend that you read Jeff Clark's article down here. It's a great article, Why Silver is Stagnant and When Will It Start Moving? It's very important, and I'm going to show you a chart on that later. But go to our website.
And see, silver and gold's not going to matter because he's going to, once again, tell on themselves with this new digital currency. Let's move this up to about the 10-minute, 40-second mark. So, yeah, right about here.
And he talks about some future global currency. Yeah, not money. As in one currency for the whole planet that will replace all others. Comments on that, please? Do you think there's any way to make a single global currency work? It would be something we have never seen before. I see it as a huge danger. I can't even fathom how bad things would be if we had something like the Federal Reserve worldwide. I can't agree more. This is an enormous danger. It will be bad because, they don't even need prisons anymore if they do this, because it's going to be digitized. It'll be on the blockchain or something like that. And they'll be able to see everything you're spending currency on and where you're at, where all your transactions are happening. And if they don't like you or something that you're doing, they can just switch you off and freeze you out of society. You won't be able to buy food or gasoline or pay your rent. So now you've got to go into this underground society of becoming a homeless person, basically.
This is Revelation 13. And I'm going to start at verse 14. And he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on earth, that they should make an image of the beast, which had a wound by a sword and did live. And that's talking about the Roman Empire being reborn through the Renaissance period, and this new worshiping of it is this new currency. This mark is proving your allegiance to this new Roman society. All right, this has always been their goal, to be godlike and control everyone and everything. And receiving this mark is the way that you're going to move about in their society. And as he said, if they don't like you, or you say something that they don't like, or you expose them, they'll just simply turn you off. They won't even need prisons anymore. All right, verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, and that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So by not taking this new digital currency mark, which is going to be put into your body, all right, that act alone could get you to be beheaded. That's why America purchased 30,000 guillotines going back some years ago. About 7-8 years ago. And that's something that you can look up on public record. Verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell save he had the mark or the name of the beast and the number of his name. So like he said, you won't be able to participate in society and be forced to go underground and be a homeless person. Which I imagine they'll just gather them up and destroy them. Here is wisdom, let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. So they're creating a hell on earth scenario, and it's already in the working. The system for this is already set up. The implementation of it is planned, and this the whole COVID thing is a part of it, because everything is being shut down and controlled. Elder Yashawamba I was just watching a video before I started doing this one about how they're creating hell on earth, and they're using COVID as one of the main vehicles to bring that by creating these hellish conditions, by closing down society and forcing people to comply, creating a bottleneck on the supply and the needs of the people. They're creating the problem, and now they're coming, and now they're coming with the solution, which was already pre-planned. But they're gonna what they're doing is creating these total hellish situations, so that the people are just so beaten down, worn down, and afraid they comply, and people are gonna run to take these vaccinations and this chip just to have some sort of normalcy. But there's never gonna be any normalcy. As a matter of fact, let's let him say what he said again. This is going to be your new normal right here.
Future global currency. Yeah, not money. As in one currency for the whole planet that will replace all others. Comments on that, please? Do you think there's any way to make a single global currency work? It would be something we have never seen before. I see it as a huge danger. I can't even fathom how bad things would be if we had something like the Federal Reserve worldwide. I can't agree more. This is an enormous danger. It will be bad because, they don't even need prisons anymore if they do this, because it's going to be digitized. It'll be on the blockchain or something like that. And they'll be able to see everything you're spending currency on and where you're at, where all your transactions are happening. And if they don't like you or something that you're doing, they can just switch you off and freeze you out of society. You won't be able to buy food or gasoline or pay your rent. So now you've got to go into this underground society of becoming a homeless person, basically. They just will not need prisons. They can just do this to you at their whim, at their caprice. It's horrible. However, it would be something the world has never seen before, a one world currency for the whole planet. We have seen this before, but that currency was money. When we used gold and silver, that was basically a one world currency. And, if
With that, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh Bashim Shai Bashim Rakakwadash Wa Abba Babal Shalom.